Sit at the chessboard and play with yourself. So why did the best player possibly ever to exist tell you to play with yourself? Well, the reason for this is practice. Repetition, repetition, repetition. It's the key to mastery, not just in chess, but in everything. Of course, he words it really in a hilarious way, but the advice still remains. The more you practice something, if it's a basic mating pattern, an opening, tactics, whatever it is, you're going to develop an instinct, sort of muscle memory, but for chess. So this is brilliant. Next up, we have analyze your own games. I think this is also brilliant. This is a picture of Bobby Fischer, not related. However, look at your own games. How are you going to improve if you don't see what you did wrong? Don't make the same mistake twice. That's the key to chess improvement. It might happen, of course, but analyze your games, even if it's painful, especially your losses. Look at the games you want to, because not every game goes smoothly, right? You might have made a mistake in the opening, might have forgotten the theory, might have had poor endgame technique, might have managed your time wrong, you know? So always analyze your games. This is brilliant. Alright, next advice. So this is courses, online courses, Chessable, all of that. Okay. So nowadays it's very popular to like go online, buy a Chessable course, I don't know, Fabiana Caruana, the Archangel or something, and just do that, and then you go to a tournament or go online and no one actually falls for your theory, or they play something else and you're disappointed and you want a refund. The reality is many strong players, like even strong club players, they don't need this. Okay? You can just look at openings by yourself, you have an idea in the shower or something. It's just gonna be as helpful, if not more, than if you go online and buy a course by a super grandmaster telling you exactly what to do. Because you might know the theory, but if you don't understand it, it's a problem, okay? So online courses, it can be a money sink, it can be a time sink. Oh no, I'm gonna put it at dubious, inaccurate. Next up, we have books. So the main difference between a Chessable course and a book is that the book is gonna go much more in depth. Well, obviously, because a Chessable course, it's maybe a few hours, 20, 25, I don't know. And a book, you can just reread it, go through the lines, you get some of the history. If it's an opening book, it's often by a very strong player. Okay. Now, don't make the mistake of thinking, oh, well, this book is famous, like Bobby Fischer Teaches Chess or Gotham Chess, How to Win at Chess. I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna expect to have the key to winning all my games. That's not what's gonna happen. You need to invest in the parts of your game that are weakest or that need more investment, more polishing, alright? So think of your game as a chain, right? A chain is as strong as its weakest link. So if you struggle in the endgame, maybe you should try to get an endgame book, like Voretsky's endgame manual. You know, very famous. There are other books. Maybe I'll do another video on that. But I think books are a great way to learn. Even if you don't exact chess knowledge from them, maybe some historical knowledge, like my great predecessors, like Kasparov. That's a great series. I think books are great. What do we have next? Playing slow chess, playing classical chess. So this is a photo from the match between Magnus and Nepomniachtchi. Classical chess is the endgame, basically, of chess. It's when you're gonna be able to think the deepest and to calculate and think ahead and put in practice all your preparation against a player, hopefully of similar or even stronger skill, right? So you shouldn't underestimate the power of playing classical chess. Obviously, if you are a stronger player looking for a title, you're gonna need to play classical chess. It can be expensive though. If you're not really that serious about the game, then it's not necessary. So I'm gonna put this at great, but it's gonna basically build you up. It's like think about it as a long workout, you know, 2 hours, 3, you know. or like running, marathon maybe. It's, of course, it's grueling, sometimes even painful after you spent, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours at the board and you just lose or throw a game. You're just like, oh my god, I'm gonna quit. Now, we've heard this before from great players, but it's what you need. You gotta do it if you want to improve, I think. If you're serious about the game, anyways. What do we have next? Okay. Coaching. Interesting. I don't know where to put coaching. Let's think about it. So, why would anyone go to a coach? Well, first of all, you don't have a clear training method, or you can't hold yourself accountable to sit at the chessboard and analyze your games, or play with yourself, or read through a book. So you need someone to hold you accountable, like a personal trainer, right? That's basically what a coach is. Someone who's gonna look at your game, tell you your weaknesses. Personally, well, I've had a few coaches, and it helps. But what helps most is if you have a strong player as your coach, maybe more experienced, someone you can play games with. They can look at your repertoire and someone who understands the way you play, and they can help you. They can be great help. It's just like with books and playing classical, right? Normally it costs money, so it's a double-edged sword. You might pay for the coach and you might get nowhere, right? So coach, great. Next up, the end game. The end game is, think about it. How many games end in the end game, right? You need endgame technique to win, basically. And endgame is not just basic mating patterns, right? It's like complex. It gets harder as the more you go up, right? How to make a pass pawn, all of that. How to use the rook and the king, and all these pieces that get an increased value when there are less pieces on the board. But most people just focus on the openings and tactics because that's the flashy parts of chess. You know, it's the Formula One of chess, right? It's very fast, very flashy. You know, who doesn't love when their opponent falls for a trap, right? Stafford Gambit, something like that. But the endgame is a super underrated and probably the most essential skill that is holding you back. So train the endgame. This is brilliant advice. Next up. Oh my god. This is Gotham chess? Yes. Watch YouTube to improve at chess. Especially the more popular streamers or YouTubers like you know, the Gotham chess of the world, the Botas, maybe even Narodetsky. But, you know, some of them are, the thing is, some of them are entertainment. They're not there to make you improve, right? It's like watching the news and expecting your, I don't know, geopolitical knowledge to increase just because you saw deer on the highway. It's something like that. Like, it's the news, but it's not all the same. All YouTube content is not built the same. So, the more entertaining stuff obviously is going to have more views. Absolutely, 100%. But you should strive to maybe look at a Grandmaster game, in depth, analyze, maybe an opening, right? YouTube can be a great alternative to something like Chessable, because YouTube is most of the time free, right? And you're gonna look at something like Hikaru doing a speed run or something. It's entertaining, but can you really get value from that? It depends. So I'm gonna put this at dubious. Speaking of the devil, looking at strong players play, looking at grandmasters and streamers play, I don't know, Bullet or something, right? People are gonna tell you, just look at them and do what they do. It's not that simple, okay? As someone who has watched a lot of like Title Tuesday players and all of that, if you don't get it, you don't get it. You know, it's like asking someone who has never understood who has never played. I'm sorry, excuse me, who has never played American football or rugby or something. And you just put them in and make them watch a game, some like an NFL game. It's like, can you tell me the rules from this? Of course, in chess, you're presumably already know the rules, but what you're trying to extract from that is like the patterns of what they do, right? But these people have so many thousands of hours ahead of like a common player, right? That it's gonna be very alien to you, and it's just gonna be like pure entertainment, just like watching YouTube. So, if you really want to improve, you should focus, endgame, analyze your games, practice. This is more like an entertainment kind of thing, so I'm gonna put it as a mistake. This shouldn't consume all your time, right? Because you see Hikaru played the Boncloud against Magnus and you suddenly think, oh, maybe I should do that. I'm surprised my opponent, but just a fundamental mistake. Next up, playing online. Blitz, Bullet, all of that. Obviously, if you're gonna play online, you're not gonna play classical. That's just not something people do. And online chess, it's great to practice your repertoire, things like that, maybe increase your reflexes if you play shorter time controls, but you should avoid it. You should focus on slower time controls. If you're gonna play online, you should try rapid, for example, something like 10+5, right? That's gonna allow you, it's gonna be a good balance between you not boring yourself to death and having some time to think and maybe, have better accuracy. So online chess, I play so much online chess that I'm kind of biased, but at the same time, I'm not a beginner anymore, I don't think. So, let's put a dubious here. Tactics. Over focusing on tactics, rather, or just do tactics, do puzzle rush, do this, do that. It's common advice that you're gonna hear people tell you. But most of the time, tactics are helpful. But if you don't have good fundamentals, you're not gonna have the capacity to produce positions where you can strive tactically. Someone's gonna lock you up in an end game, or just like close down the position, or you're gonna struggle if you put all your eggs in one basket. So focus on tactics. Maybe not the best. Also inaccurate. You know what? I'm gonna put YouTube as a mistake and watching Grandmasters a blunder. Is this what I want to do? Let's just put it here. No blunder today. I mean, it's all good advice. So yeah, basically practice, analyze your game, and don't underestimate the end game. That's the best advice I have for you. And the rest is up to you. If you have the time and money to spend on books, like, it's a financial decision more than a chess decision at this point. So there's that. That's my chess advice tier list. If you like this video, like and subscribe. All those algorithm stuff. Share with your friends and tell me what you think. I love to hear your opinion. Thanks for watching.